the third step of a solution. Do not come and just tell us problems, challenges. But at the same time, you have to master the art of communicating a solution. The best way to offer solutions of things is to use the framework PPF, past, present, future. Tell people what was, what is, and what could be. In between what was and what is, illustrate errors in judgment, omissions, or actions, reckless actions that led us to where we are. Usually, where we are is never a good place. Even when it is a good place, it could have been better, or it could be better, or it will be better. If you're speaking to very fat women or men, and you want to tell them to start exercising, tell them of how they were as children. Tell them if they could remember the waistline they had while in high school. And then illustrate the errors in judgment in food, in lifestyle, lack of exercise, choice of whatever they did that got them to be obese. Now the next step, suggest a course of action that can lead us to where we could be. In the process, paint a picture of what could be. Make it so desirable that we are willing to listen to what we need to do to get there. Speak to someone's desire of a better process, a better way of handling data, a better way of getting results, and how it will help them. It's not about what they're going to do. It's not about the features there in the system. It's about the benefits. You speak, who is the founder of Apple? Eh?
Steve Jobs.
Yes, you speak like Steve Jobs. You do not say that this gadget is an MP3, which has 10 GB in storage. People don't understand. Steve Jobs says, this is an iPod, 1,000 songs in your pocket, full stop. So paint a picture, word pictures, that make someone desire of the future, and then illustrate what could lead them to the future, the things they're supposed to do. And then the next is care. So we said identify, attack the problem and not the person, offer solution. Second, care. Speak like you care. But that suggests you need to listen before you speak. You need to think before you write. So before you pen down that letter to someone, before you type that email to someone, think. First word, think. Before you respond, before you give advice, before you offer solution, listen. Before you reprimand, Ndugu Simon, listen. Because you have to communicate from someone's desires and challenges, but not from what you think they need to hear. When you communicate using their own things that they've told you, they get to feel and think that you care, even when you don't. But I'm just saying, actually genuine care. As a leader, you have to genuinely care about your people. This class gives me people I know that are going to be leaders, or are leaders in one way. Like I've told you, no one comes to public speaking classes because they want to be mediocres. You need to speak like you care. And you can't speak like you care if you don't know what they are going through, if you don't know their challenges, if you don't know their thoughts. This was concretized for me by Mandela. Mandela was sharing a lesson of how one day he asked his father, how come in a meeting, the father was a clan chief, how come in a meeting you always speak last in the clan meetings? That you see, all those members of the council have their perceptions and thoughts and ideas. So when you speak first, you speak out of your perception. Even when you have facts, even when you have truth, when you speak out of perception, what you perceive as true, what you perceive as fact, what you perceive as right. But when you speak last, you speak out of perspective. So for you guys here, having attended this class, I want you always to attempt to speak out of perspective, not perception.